Okay, we are looking here at page 4. We are on your 3-2 solving one variable inequalities. First thing you're going to do is complete this table. So using your symbols, you're going to tell me what's the name of it, what are they called, and then you're going to go back to your 3-1 notes if you need reminded about what type of circle you're going to use when you graph each of these symbols. And then at some point, you need to have Mrs. Mullen check this. So do this, and then she will check it at some point. All right, so now we're going to talk about our solving, how we solve one variable inequalities. Well, the good news is we solve one variable inequalities the same way we solve equations. Recall our saying, don't call me after midnight, that we learned in Unit 2 for our solving equations. Remember that stands for distribute, combine like terms. Remember these have to be on the same side of the equal sign. Then move your variable to one side. Remember you always move by adding or subtracting that term. Then you add or subtract your constant. Remember, it's the opposite of what you have. If you have addition, you would subtract. If you have subtraction, you would add. And then you multiply or divide your coefficient. If you have multiplication, you're going to divide. And if you have division, you're going to multiply. There's one difference. The one difference is if you multiply or divide by a negative. If at any point you multiply or divide by a negative, then you must flip. You must flip the inequality sign. So if I had negative 2x is less than 10, I have negative 2 times x. I'm going to divide by negative 2 on both sides. Because I'm dividing by a negative, this sign needs to flip. So I'm going to get x, and I'm going to flip this around. So it's pointing in the other direction. And then 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. If you multiply or divide by a negative, so if this would have been a positive 2x, you would not have flipped this. But because it's negative, you flip your sign. Remember in the last lesson that if you solve and your variable's on the right, then you must turn the entire inequality around. So if you would have solved, if this said 10 was greater than negative 2x, if I solved it like this, and I'm going to divide by negative 2, I'm going to get my negative 5. Because I divided by a negative, I'm going to flip this sign to face the other direction, and then I get x. Because my variable's on the right, see how it's on the right? I need to flip this entire thing around. So I'm going to put x, my sign, which needs to point towards the negative 5. Okay? So let's go through a couple of examples. Number 1, I don't have any distributing. Combining like terms. Well, right here I have a 3 and an x. Those are not like terms. And I don't have several terms here, so no like terms to combine. Move the variable to one side. My variable's already on one side. I don't have any over here on the right. Add or subtract. I've got this constant right here. It is positive, so I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. I am not subtracting because of this plus sign. I am subtracting because 3 is positive. I don't see a sign in front which lets me know it's positive. 3 minus 3 is 0. Leaves me with a positive x. My sign stays the same. 7 minus 3 is 4. And there's my answer. X is less than or equal to 4. Now it says I want to graph on a number line. You can just put 3 numbers here. The number before your answer, 3, your number, 4, and the number after. Based on your symbol, you have this line underneath. That's a closed dot. This is X is less than or equal to 4. Which numbers are less than or equal to 4? Left or to the right? Over here. So I'm going to shade all the way over here. Our next one, negative 2n is less than 10. I don't have distributing. No like terms to combine. My variable's already on one side. I don't have any addition or subtraction. I need to go to the multiplying or dividing. I have negative 2n, which is like negative 2 times n. So I need to divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. I'm dividing by a negative. What do I need to do? I need to flip this sign around so that it's backwards. And then 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Then I need to graph this. I need the number before this. The number before negative 5 is negative 6. And then negative 5, and then negative 4. If you put negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, you are wrong. It is negative 6, then negative 5, then negative 4. Our symbol does not have a line underneath, so I need an open circle. I want n to be greater than negative 5. Which numbers are greater, left or right? That would be to the right. There's my solution, and there's its graph. Try this one on your own and see how you do. Come back and check it when you're done. It may be helpful to put your line through your symbol just like you did your line through your equal sign. Just make sure you keep that symbol instead of an equal sign. I don't have distributing. I don't have like terms to combine. I already have my variable on one side, so I'm going to start by getting rid of my subtraction. To get rid of minus 1, I need to add 1 to both sides. Negative 15 plus 1 is negative 14. Keep your symbol, 7a. Now I have 7a, which there's a times sign there. I need to divide by 7. Negative 14 divided by 7 is negative 2. Does my symbol flip? It does not. Your directions to flip it are as if you multiply or divide by a negative. You're dividing by a positive. So this number being negative does not make you flip your symbol. It's only if you are dividing by a negative, which we are not. Now, we aren't done because we want the variable on the left. So I'm going to put a, flip the symbol so that it's still pointing towards your negative 2. That's the one I want. The number that comes before negative 2 is negative 3, then negative 2, then negative 1. My symbol should be, or my circle should be open because there's not a line. I want numbers that are greater than negative 2, which should be to the right. If you feel like you're doing well, you can keep trying these on your own. If you want a couple more together, then continue with me. No distributing, no like terms to combine. My variable's already on one side, so I need to start by getting rid of this plus 3 by subtracting 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. Keep that symbol. I just have m divided by negative 4 because 3 minus 3 cancels. Now I have dividing by negative 4, so I need to times by negative 4 on both sides. Negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. Do I need to flip this symbol? Yes, I do. Flip it around because you multiplied by a negative. Am I done? Once again, I'm not, because I have my variable on the right and I want it on the left, so I'm going to put m. You're going to write the symbol backwards so that it's pointing towards m still. So m is less than or equal to negative 24. Negative 25, negative 24, and negative 23. There's a line, which means closed circle. I want numbers less than or equal to negative 24. Less than goes to the left. No distributing. I have like terms to combine. I have a 2x plus 3x. 2x plus 3x is 5x. Bring down that plus 5. Keep your symbol, and then 20. I already have my variable on one side, so I now can move to add or subtract. I have plus 5. I need to subtract 5 from both sides. I'm going to bring down the 5x. My 5 minus 5 is gone. My symbol stays the same. And then 20 minus 5 is 15. I have 5x, which is a times. I need to get rid of that by dividing by 5. Which leaves me with x. Do I flip my symbol? I do not, because I divided by a positive. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Am I done? I am, because my variable is on the left and it is by itself. And then you need to graph. 2, 3, 4. No line. Open circle. I want numbers less than 3. Less than would be to the left. I've got parentheses, so I need to start with distributing. 2 times p is 2p. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Keep your symbol, 4p plus 8. I do not have like terms on the left. I do not have like terms on the right. So then I would, after combine like terms, I'm going to skip that step. I'm going to move the variable. Notice I have variables on both sides. Now, typically, it wouldn't matter. And it technically doesn't. But remember that we want the variable on the left when we're done. So it would save you a step if you got rid of this one, if you moved the 4p to the other side. And it is positive, so to move it, you are going to subtract 4p from both sides. 2 minus 4 is negative 2p. Bring down your minus 2. Keep your symbol. Your 4p's cancel, leaving you with 8. After moving the variable, you add or subtract. I have minus 2. Then I need to add 2 to both sides. Leaves me with negative 2p. Don't flip that symbol because I added a 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. And then I need to get rid of this negative 2 in front of my p. Remember, there's a times, so I'm going to divide by negative 2. Do I flip the symbol? Yes, I do, because I divided by a negative. 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. And now I'm done because my variable's on the left. Then I'm going to graph. Negative 6, negative 5, negative 4. Open circle. I want numbers greater than negative 5, which is going to be to the right.